Hi, my name is Jonathan Polito, and I'm talking about adult and childhood obesity in Ohio as my complex issue. Now, the obesity rate in Ohio, as you can see, is 36.4% to 38.1% within adults, meaning anyone 18 and above. Now, the national average is 41%, and while Ohio is just below that, that's still pretty high up there percentage, meaning roughly 4 out of 10 people within the adult community in America, not America, Ohio, is obese. Moving on to children, just people within the range of ages 2 to 17, it's about 18.3%. And fortunately, in Ohio, the rate is about 1.6% lower than national average. So, what I put down for causes for obesity, and I just mean this for adults and children, just the entire demographic, preferred food slash eating habits. So people like to eat fast food. Now, fast food, that's a very convenient food item. You're busy, you have a long day, and basically this is something you can get really fast, just like snacking. You can just grab something from the fridge, grab something from the cupboard, and bam. It's just nice and easy to eat. You don't have to cook, and the mess, there isn't much of it. Now, as you can see, I put the same reasoning under both fast food and snacking. It's not filling because most snacks and fast food are they're not filling. There's not much in it. For snacking specifically, you have a large quantity of just one item, and it's usually high in calories. More so like Oreos, you're going to eat a lot of them, or M&Ms, you're going to eat a lot of them. Fast food, like the Big Mac meal, you get the average Big Mac meal, specifically in calories. A Big Mac meal is about 1,000 to 1,200 calories, and I mean when you eat the burger itself, the non-diet soda, and even the fries, that's not really that filling for the average person. So I mean, you're gonna have to add more, or even add a shake to supplement that kind of hunger, or to fill that kind of hunger. And as you know, that 1,200 calorie range is roughly about half of your daily caloric intake, or should be, meaning you're gonna eat a lot more than just that meal. And that's going to go above that, causing just higher fat intake and just higher calorie intake, and that's just going to cause weight gain. Now, when I put down coping mechanisms, a lot of psychologists tend to say that when you're stressed out, you have some trauma, or even you're anxious or even depressed, people tend to go towards food to kind of fix this or even to cope. Now, I unfortunately have this kind of personal experience. When I was growing up, I was on the heavier side. I was stressed out. A lot of my anxiousness, fortunately, I didn't have depression, but I did tend to go towards food to cope with my kind of problems. I can kind of confirm this kind of psychology. Now, a lot of people, when they have this, or not this, but some kind of trauma, when they turn towards alcohol, this really can cause obesity because, one, it's high in calories, and two, your body tends to go for more greasy and salty foods, which would in turn help with, not digesting, but dealing with the alcohol, and that would just cause for a lot of bloating, a lot of inflammation, and overall just more calories that you're digesting, causing for a higher rate of obesity. Now, a sedentary lifestyle, this is kind of a reoccurring issue within America now. Children within today are focusing more on video games. There's a lot of less sports. Now, I know video games is becoming way more popular in way more fields. You got mobile games, you got console games, and just sitting down, the kids aren't moving, meaning they're just going to have less calories to burn, causing for a more rates of obesity, lack of sports, football, wrestling, baseball, all these famous sports that we all grew up in are just starting to go into decline within youth sports, meaning they're just not moving around. Same thing goes with a lower gym requirement. I mean PE class within high schools and younger grades. Um, Ever since the pacer test started to kind of like sway away, we know the presidential pacer test when it goes more from individualness. Now the schools are going towards more group style, and because you have a lower quality worth of physical education, kids are just going to move around less, meaning they're just not going to have that kind of caloric burn. Now, childhood obesity concerns. When I put down longevity on the left, I just mean that when you are a child who is obese, the statistics kind of show that you're 5 times more likely to become slash stay obese as an adult. And there's a lot of issues I'm going to explain on the next slide for adult obesity concerns that come with this. Type 2 diabetes, you're going to have diabetes from having a high, or just from being obese, unfortunately, in the aspect that once you eat a lot of food, you're going to have a lot of insulin resistance or concerns, and you're going to have to reshape slash structure your life around this, and this could be a really big inconvenience. It's still livable, but like I said, has a whole bunch of health concerns and inconveniences that come with it. Cardiovascular problems, this added pressure within your heart, your body, really does have added risks to heart failure, hypertension, and stroke. Basically, added pressure, your heart has to work a lot more, meaning there's a lot more chances of it having problems and cardiovascular problems. Now, mental and emotional images. This can come towards a lot of self hate within yourself, with the way you look. Body dysmorphia, that can have a big issue with the way you look. And it could even added, unfortunate eating disorders to combat that, and that's just unhealthy all around the board. Now, for adult concerns, as you can see, diabetes and cardiovascular issues, this is kind of repeat. When you're a kid, you're more than likely to have this kind of same problems if you have obesity as an adult. And moving on to joint slash mobility issues, osteoarthritis, cartilage damage. There's so much added body mass will just add so much deterioration on your joints, causing you to be more immobile and having more joint pains. Now, this can even cause you to move less, meaning less calories burned, because it's just so painful to move, and that just causes way more problems throughout the entirety of the structure, meaning you're just going to burn less and less calories, you're going to be more and more obese. Now, for reduced life expectancy, I want to point out that everything that I've added has an issue has a cause of death, meaning cardiovascular issues. It is the number one cause of death in America. Being obese, a lot of issues that come towards these issues, and it can, as it says by the National Institute of Health, it can reduce your life up to 14 years. Now, there's honestly, the solution, it's simple to say what it is, but harder to implement. Lifestyle changes slash diet, eating right, knowing what you're eating, having the right kind of calories, knowing what to eat, self-education, knowing what your body agrees with, what can it actually tolerate, what can you do to stay healthy. And alcohol rehabilitation, I just mean trying to stay away from alcohol, not quitting it, but like more so knowing how to regulate it within a sustainable and more so non-hurting way, so where you're not really so eating or drinking alcohol like an addict, and you're just doing within moderation. And when I mean exercise, regular exercise, going to the gym a few times a week, just moving your body. It doesn't even have to go to the gym, just moving your body so way it's actually just being fit, you're burning calories, and having a personal trainer or even a gym buddy to keep you accountable and make it fun can really help aid this process. The more calories you burn, the more you're gonna lose. And yeah, that's it. This is my We're Excited. Hope you guys enjoyed.